Hello everybody, welcome back to Language Litigation Integration Part 77, Casual Conversations 25. Last episode I told you a lot of fun stories about being a bouncer. I was going to tell you some funny sports stories, so I got quite a few of those today. The first one's actually not funny, but the rest of them are all very funny. Like I said, I played a bunch of sports throughout my life. Soccer, baseball, basketball, basically forever, golfing for a while, and some bowling and skiing as well. But told you about the state championships, but I'm just gonna tell you some golf stories and then some soccer stories. So, excuse me. The first one, Stewart, the fort, a beehive, and an ambulance. So these are in chronological order. But at my parents' old house, my dad built us a fort, just like a big, two-story, had like a maybe, I don't know, 8x8 base, and then you could climb up to the top. Not a tree fort, just a freestanding fort. Again, another 8x8, maybe fit 4 or 5 people up there, just comfortably, just a play place for kids. In addition to that, it had like a beam going across and a beam going down, swings on the right side, and this big hitting net for my dad. Liked to play golf a lot, and so Dad was always a big golfer. I played golf quite a bit in high school. Haven't played in a couple years. But again, like I said, my average scores would probably be, if I played right now, probably 90. I mean, nothing good, but I can certainly hit the ball a long way. I'm pretty athletic, so I can swing the club pretty hard. But I don't even remember the dude's last name. This is Stewart. I don't think I've referenced any other Stewarts in this lecture series. Not the dude from 4th grade. I did reference one other Stewart, but I don't remember this dude's last name. But we were literally probably, again, less than 10 years old. Maybe 8, 9, 10, maybe 11, but young kids. And so my dad has this fort outside, and this big just hitting net to hit into. And so one day, my buddy Stewart comes over, and we're just hitting golf balls into the net. Yeah, they were probably real golf balls, or just again like the little foam balls, but real golf club. And so we're hitting, both taking turns, and then my turn comes up. So okay, I put the ball on the tee. Again, I'm swinging this way, and the base of the fort is over here. And under the fort, there was a beehive. And so my buddy Stewart somehow wrestled the beehive. The bees start coming out as I'm swinging, I'm coming down, boom, and then on the follow through, after I go through the follow through, I literally club the dude, like, not in a golf swing, the maximum rotational momentum is at the bottom, but like on a full-fledged swing coming through, hit the dude right in the middle of the forehead. In the same way I told you when I broke my arm, I just felt a thud. It was just a thud, like, oh fuck, I just hit a dude in the head with a golf club for real. And he's like taken back. And you can just see this big gash down the middle of his face. And I remember the words in my brain at 8 years old was chunks of blood. He is just dripping out of his fucking forehead. And again, we're like 8, 9 years old. We just start screaming. My mom comes out all frantic, calls an ambulance. Nothing ended up serious happening. He had to get his, I think it was glued. I don't think he got stapled. But it was a big gash right in the middle of his head. And I just remember thinking, like, holy shit, I might kill a guy. And it was, again, a genuine accident. So that's my first, again, not a funny story, but certainly a story to be told. So that was when I was real young. Now fast forward, like I said, I probably started golf in 7th grade grade school, and then rejoined the golf team after I quit soccer in high school. And so high school, again, the first story is obviously young, now getting through puberty, getting some muscle mass on me, working out a little bit, and people at the tournaments would always like, wow, this dude can swing. This dude can swing fast. So they kept recommending me to go get my swing assessed. So for any golfers out there, I went to just like a swing assessment, whatever, and the dude, my stats were, I think, again, this was written down probably like, again, sophomore, junior year of high school, and I reassessed it. I think it's pretty consistent, but I think it's miles per hour. But my swing speed was between 125 and 145, maximum up to 150 miles per hour, and the ball head speed, or the ball off the face of the launch speed, was over 220. And so that was, once I got my swing assessed, the dude was like, shit, that's pretty fucking good. You should go try out for the Remax long drive competition. So I was like, oh yeah, obviously, sweet.
And so my dad was with me at the swing assessment. My cousin, who I've referenced once or twice, just one of the cousins, older, probably 40 male, my dad's brother's son, but also a big golfer. We've golfed with him many times over the years. But so we're going to go to this Remax long drive competition and see how I do. And so after getting some very good positive reviews about my swing speed and ball speed or whatever, there was a qualifying event just locally in Dublin, Ohio. I think it was at the Ohio Sports Facility. I know there's a big sports facility around Dublin, maybe Marysville area. But we go there and you get, I forget what it was like. It was like you had to pay like $40 for like 4 balls or like $50 for like 5 balls. But I did it a couple times. I think my farthest drive on record there was probably, I think it was, the actual one was 335. This was into the wind. So I didn't end up qualifying. I was in first for a while, but somebody else came out and did like 370, 385, which would have been too much for me in the wind. But at the Remax assessment, the dude running, I think, was like, clear, this guy can hit. And when I went there with my dad and my cousin, I didn't have any specialized clubs. And if you're not familiar with long drive, you pretty much get I don't know the typical stats on a golf club, but like, you know, you can go to a store and get an extra stiff, probably a soft stick shaft, flex, medium, rigid, hard, or extra stiff or extra stiff. And so I just had a regular, like, probably just an extra stiff shaft from a pretty stock, you know, one of my cousin's clubs. After I did pretty well there, they were like, you know, my dad bought me a couple, one long drive club, but it was like, again, whatever the maximum length for, you know, high school golf was, whatever, it was the heaviest it could be. It had literally a 6-degree launch angle. I still have the club, but a 6-degree launch angle, and then the shaft was either double X or triple extra stiff, which was much more, again, when I swing a club, it looks like a noodle. And so, just fun fact, my longest drive ever with my buddy Garrett. My old buddy Garrett, we're at Raccoon International and off 161 in Ohio, if you know it. It's either hole 16 or 17, but there's a long par 5, and it's 666 yards exactly. And obviously, we ain't no bitch, we play from the tips. So I've gotten to that. I literally go up there, and this is with the club that I got, the 6-degree launch club. Just swing as hard as I possibly can. Best drop I've ever hit. It literally comes off the face like a knuckleball. Like, it's not spinning. Like, baseball knuckleball doesn't spin. Oh, fun fact, my dad also grew up around, like, literally right down the street from Phil and Joe Necro. If any people know the knuckleball pitchers. But literally comes off the face, just cracked. We both just noticed it, like, the flight path was just different. And then probably after, like, you know, the first 20 yards of the tee box, it just kicks in with a spin, and it's just a perfect, you know, slight draw down the middle of the fairway. Literally probably right around 400 yards. So a good upper drive for me is 360 to 400, 400 being my absolute max, without a lot of roll either. I mean, this one did catch a little hill, but nothing like an extreme roll on the PGA or anything like that. But I could definitely drive the ball 360 to 400, 300 to 350 consistently, and that was my run at a Remax long drive competition. But again, I'm playing golf in high school all the time. I'm definitely getting a reputation of a guy who swings hard. So now another couple funny follow-up stories. So now literally when I told you about the Oreo pie that slapped, after thinking about it, like the freshman gym stories I told you would just been regular gym. Then we had advanced gym, so that's why we would have been going to we did a field trip to the driving range. So this is literally a story about literally right before the Oreo pie that slapped, and who wrote that one? Thomas Jefferson? Alexander Hamilton? In my government class, literally right before this. Like literally the same day. So, and I told you about the football coach who almost asked me to play a game when my buddy Tim literally broke his leg pretty bad. I think his name was Wiggins, I do believe that was his name. But he heard about me again, getting this reputation as a long driver. And I think I said the club that I have, they use long driving for, is going to get a customized thing, 6-degree launch angle on the club head. No, there's no grooves on it. Triple X shaft. It's heavy. You know, you have to go out of your way to buy these things. But we go to the driving range, And Coach Wiggins was like, "Hey Brad, I can hear you. You can hit the ball pretty far." And I was like, "Yeah, I definitely can, but we're at the driving range. I mean, this is at school. I don't have my golf clubs with me. There's literally just right. If you, I don't know anybody who would know the Westville Driving Center, but you go in there or just any driving range, they just have the most generic shitty clubs ever. Like literally, like you could get better shit at like Play It Again Sports for like 5 cents. So it's just like the most rundown. I mean, just people going on a date, just swing a club, nothing serious. But the shafts in there are probably medium, regular, bendy, you know, certainly not even stiff. And so I was like, yeah, I can definitely hit the ball far, but not with these clubs. He's like, give it a try. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I put up a ball on the tee, and you can just jiggle the thing, and it's just a complete noodle. So I go up there. He's like, show me what you got. And I was like, there's no chance this is going to go well, but I'll show you what I got. So I just crank it as hard as I possibly can. Instant that club head contacts the ball, the club just explodes. Literally, like the club head went flying into the driving range. The actual shaft of the club just kind of splintered up to the point of literally like the grip. And Mike, or not my coach, but my gym teacher Wiggins is just laughing. He's just like, oh, let's give that one another shot. And I was like, dude, we can give it another shot, but it's going to do the same shit. It's like, let's try one more time. Because he wasn't trying to destroy the clubs. He actually wanted to see me hit a ball far. But it's just there was zero potential. Like, I mean, I could have hit a good drive with a regular club, but not with like the most crummy stuff from a driving range. And I've shattered regular clubs too. So this is not like, this is like a step down after I've gotten like way stronger and can definitely hit the ball. Lineup ball number 2. The second club didn't shatter, but it broke. It just broke through like the center of the club. And then he was like, okay, we should probably stop. We can't run through every single club at this fucking place. But that was the time I shattered some clubs at the Westville driving range. And again, that was right before going back and being told my writing was like Thomas Jefferson shit, with my buddy Zach roaring into laughter. A couple other stories from golf and some from soccer. I'll tell you about my best chip ever in my last competitive hole as a high school golfer. And so me, being the intellectual that I am, actually my dad found, one day we were golfing, probably Champions in Columbus, Ohio, if anyone knows the place. And my dad, anytime we used to like collect golf balls, live by a golf course, go get the golf balls, clean them up, sell some, and then just have big buckets of golf balls. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time my dad would have to bought golf balls to go golfing. But just when we're on the course, if you hit the ball in the woods, walk in the woods, pick up a couple golf balls, whatever. One day he found a left-handed club head, just the club head, not the whole club. And my dad's good at re-gripping clubs, he's done it a bunch. So he re-gripped the left-handed club head. I was like, oh, sweet, I'm going to throw that in my bag. There's a lot of people, you have a club limit, how many clubs you can have in your bag in golf. But I was never, like I said, because my drives are so long, I don't have never really needed like a 3 wood or a 5. I did carry a 3 wood at times, but never like a 5 wood. And never those like middle upper clubs. It's always like driver, pitching wedge, driver, 9-iron. So I had room in my bag for a left-handed club. And so probably junior year, state tournament probably, or like not state tournament, regional, whatever like the first qualifying thing is. But like trying to go to the state tournament. I forget the gradations. But going through, like I said, I was like, no, not 85 and 90 is not like a good golfer, but at least I can swing hard. But I forget which course we were at, doesn't matter, it's pretty far away, certainly like the end of the year tournament. And I hit a ball, and in golf in high school, it's like typically 1 or 2 of you on your team, and then 2 or 3 other people from other schools, other teams, whatever. Just depends on like the match. But it was a state tournament, so it was a couple other people, like four people, each different teams. But hit a ball, and I'm pinned up against the tree. And there was no way anyone who's golf knows what it's like to assess a stroke. And I'm sitting there, and there's 0% chance I'm going to be able to hit this right-handed. And then me with my humongous brain, it's like, oh yeah, shit, I have a left-handed chipper club. And because it was like a tournament, there was like a good amount of people watching. Just my dad was watching. The other dads, a couple other coaches. And again, nothing illegal, you're allowed to carry a left-handed club. And my short game's definitely gotten better, at least when I was playing. Went to high school, short game was definitely never my thing whatsoever. So, again, not a super great chipper in any way. But I pull out this left-handed club, and it's really the best shot I got. There's nothing else I can do. I gotta hit the thing left-handed. And so I give it a couple practice strokes, and just go for it. And the thing literally goes 10 yards past the hole, checks up like a PGA Tour thing, spins back to about 3 yards. And there's just audible laughter. I mean, I was just like, what the fuck is this? I'm over there like, yeah, man, what's up? So my best chip ever as a right-handed golfer was a 100% a left-handed chip in the junior year. Again, it was like the regionals, or like the first competitive end of the year tournament. I know there was, again, like 15 witnesses. And then one of the other two was like, goes up to his coach, he's like, did you see that? He just hit left-handed. What's going on? And I was just like, yeah, man. Because like I said, I wasn't super competitive. I wasn't great, but that was definitely my best chip ever. So now, I'll tell you the story about my last competitive hole ever, and then some soccer stories. So actually, with the timing of it all, I do think that was my senior year, just to be specific. Not my junior year, but my senior year, again, that was like the competitive end of the year tournament. We did not qualify. I don't remember what I shot, but 92 or 93, which was very, very typical for me. We were pretty close. Fake buddy Chad was kind of upset, but I was living my best life, doing the best I can on the golf course. But again, I just couldn't like control my chipping and shit. I don't fucking know. It's golf. I know it's golf. You know what it's like. But my last competitive hole after. So the tournament, we don't qualify. We don't move on. We literally have one more tournament against like Westerville Central, I believe it was, at Medallion Country Club. Again, I'm again pretty much a clown. Don't really give a fuck about anything. When you're a scapegoat at the highest level, you really can't. It's actually pretty funny. But at this point, again, the season's over. It's 100% over, and you're just going out there to have fun. Literally the last hole I golfed senior year of my golfing career. Just come off my best chip ever. It's like, oh, of course, left-handed. Again, last hole, we'd already lost the match. I'm gonna golf the whole thing left-handed, just the entire hole. And so I chunk again 3 or 4 right off the bat, off of the. And at this point, I'm just like using not the chipper, but like my driver flipped upside down so I can swing it left-handed. And so I chunk 3 or 4 off the end, and then the coaches are standing there at the end, and I chunk a couple more up in the fairway, chunk a couple up on the green, and scored like a solid 14 or 15. Literally just having fun. And of course, Coach St. Francis Sales High School, who was Coach Eckel, he was like, again, just distraught and mad at me. Like I'm disrespecting the game of golf. I just remember thinking, it's my last golfing match ever. I'm gonna have fun on the last hole. Fuck you. Obviously didn't say that. Not in high school. But he literally looks at me and goes, "You can leave. You can just leave. If you're not gonna play for the team, you can leave." I just remember thinking, yeah, dude. We're not in any tournaments. That was last weekend. This is literally the last match ever. I guess I'm not a team player. We already lost. Yep. So it was really consequential. And I remember I did not want to go to the. When he did that, I was done with the team. I mean, it was a fucking team. But I didn't even want to go to the banquet. And they were like, oh, it's not that serious. But again, you get another moment of time, people just get offended that I'm just enjoying my life. Sorry. Not really. Anyway, fuck you. But, a couple soccer stories. So I told you about like leaving mid practice and seeing this varsity from the freshman game practice running too much, going inside. Coach sees me, says, "Why aren't you at practice?" He said, "I didn't quit like mid season, but I didn't sign up for soccer the next year." And so that's when I went to play golf. But after now playing soccer for a couple years, probably 2. It was probably just 1.5. Probably like my sophomore year going into junior year, because the end of the story is the National Youth Leadership Forum I told you about when I danced with Miss Tennessee for like 30 seconds. The conclusion of the story happens during that time. So this has been like a year and a half of not playing any soccer whatsoever. But one of my old buddies, Matt, who I played with like competitive soccer growing up, all through grade school, was still really big into soccer into high school and to college. And so I've been playing on a travel soccer team. I'm done playing soccer, and me and my old buddy Jimmy, and this is the dude I went and crashed the Aflac convention with. It's literally the same time, the Hilton time frames. But real quick side story. Earlier that day, me and my buddy Jimmy, or maybe that week, but at the same time, we decided we were going to try to make homemade tattoos, like homemade henna tattoos. and I forget what exactly we did, but we had like just some shitty cutout thing we made ourselves with an X-Acto knife, and like dumb shit, but probably something like just some sort of like car oil, just like probably not good for the skin, but we just like painted it on ourselves, and it just looked absolutely like fucking shit. So we're like, yeah, really good idea. It was both of our ideas. We're both stoked for it. It's like, yeah, it just did not fucking work out at all. But we tried to get ourselves like just like henna tattoos, not like actually pins and needles, but just like a henna tattoo. Didn't work out. So it was like, what else? What other exciting things we can do? And then we realized Matt was a mutual friend of ours, that he had open soccer tryouts for his travel soccer team. So we're like, fuck it, let's go try out for the soccer. We're gonna go there. Matt actually has to like try to play soccer, and we're not gonna like fuck around with him, but we're just gonna try out. Just, hey dude, you can tell he's not gonna be excited about it. So we were excited to go do this plan. So we show up to the soccer tryouts, and again, I was a good soccer player. My buddy Jimmy probably never played soccer in his life. And my buddy Jimmy is probably, for whatever reason, the cutoff date, my birthday's in September, his was probably June or July. And so he was on the cutoff where he had to go with the higher age group. So I'm trying out, not with my buddy Matt's on like the A team, the higher ranking team. We have to try out with a different group of people. But my buddy Jimmy gets sent to the completely wrong group that we thought he was going to go to, and he is terrible at soccer. So he goes there. I don't think he impressed the coaches too much. I had my Kobe Bryant jersey on. Again, shout out Kobe. But again, like we're going there to fuck around and have fun. So I play soccer. Again, had to play soccer in a year and a half, and leave the tryouts. And then I go on this National Youth Leadership Forum in Babson, somewhere in Boston, Babson College, Massachusetts, and I get a text, and it's from the soccer tryout people. And I made the fucking team. They literally said you're going to start on the B+ team, and then you can maybe work your way up and play with your buddy Matt. And I just fucking lost it. Because we were literally doing one of the tours of like a hospital or something. And I just texted back like, no thanks, and like not going to play soccer. Because I didn't want to fucking play. But that was the time I legitimately made my buddy Matt's travel soccer team. And for what it's worth, I was a good soccer player. I was a striker. Definitely scored a lot of fucking goals when I played. So I thought those were richly funny stories, and that I didn't get to last time. So hope you liked something, laughed a little bit, or just watched it at all. Thank you for watching Language Litigation and Integration Part 77, Casual Conversations 25.